So, as I said, joining us now is Anneke. Annie. She had a short break from working on her game Paradigm Shift, but she's back on it now, and she wanted to show us her production steps and then also talk a bit about the future. So, yes. Give it up for Anneke.
Hi everyone. I'm back on my main project, Paradigm Shift. After 3 months of working for some freelance projects, I came back to this project that I actually want to realize, and I think some of you in the house haven't seen it yet. For you that don't know, Paradigm Shift is an educational exploration game about the history of humankind, and in it you have for each era in time, you have one of these levels, one of these planets that you can turn around and explore and fill up this history books with the objectives that you can find in the level. So before I stopped working on it 3 months ago, I was working on the Bronze Age level, and I was implementing all the technical steps so you can complete the whole level, but it's still completely in box art, or most of it was in box art. So I was just indicating which kind of houses are going to be where with this. So now I've been starting to actually produce some of the assets for the Bronze Age level. And yeah, so in this case, for example, I've been working on some of the assets for the early Chinese civilization. I'm going to continue doing that. I made a little video that gives a little bit more of the vibe of the game. Looking right now, so I've been working on some of the city walls for Mesopotamia, and like you can see now, these are two different city-states, and yeah, I've been working on the walls and the crops and the Ishtar Gate, the Babylon Gate for Mesopotamia. Yeah, and then also on these houses for China. So yeah, you can see some of them are still box art, but it's gonna continue to be populated from now on, and yeah, get more beautiful and more like a real game. And yeah, me personally, I always really love when you can feel in a game that they put a lot of effort into little details, and put a lot of love into the assets. So I really want to do that and hope that I can achieve it to make the player feel like they really want to be in this world. So yeah, since it's a game about history, and I want to be making an accurate model of history. I'm looking at a lot of research images, and it's a lot of fun. The process is a lot of fun to get to know all these different architectures, clothing styles, and from all these different eras in history, like this, in this case, the Bronze Age. I get the feeling that it's also making me a better artist because I learned so much about different styles. So when I came back, I started with enlisting all the production steps that I still have to do for the Bronze Age level. This is just a little part of the production list that I have made. Yeah, it's still quite a lot to do, and when I came back, it's always actually quite nice to have some distance when you, after some time, come back to a project. And for me, I felt that I have quite some weight on my shoulders, and I remembered one of my starting goals with this project was actually to have something that I can produce in a reasonable amount of time, since this is my first game project that I'm working on as a solo developer. So I was reconnecting with that goal. First, when I started, I wanted to do 12 levels actually, then I cut it down to 9 levels already. I still feel like this is a lot to do for one person. So I've been thinking about it, and what I've been deciding to do now is to actually cut it in 3 again. Yeah, because making a game is a lot of work, and if you still want to reach your goals, then you can just cut content. And so that's what I'm going to do. And for now, I'm going to just focus on the early history of humankind and going to release the first part of it. After that, I can still see like how did the people react to the first part of the game and redecide what I want to work on next and take all of the learnings that I got from that first game and take it on to whatever next project I want to do. And with that, like a lot of weight fell off of my shoulders. So I think this is a good decision to make. And the only thing that's changing is it's going from it's an educational exploration game about the history of humankind to the early history of humankind. Yeah, I think that's it from me. Do you have any questions?
Do you actually model the houses like to follow the curvature, or is that done via shader?
I do have in Blender, there's a modifier that you can curve the houses. So I'm just applying that to the houses that are like, especially like the Chinese, the longer Chinese one is needed to be bended. Otherwise it would look weird, but that's quickly done in Blender.
After you decided now to cut it even more into parts, do you feel like you will ever come back to the project when you are done with the 3 islands or like states? Where is it like?
I get the question like if I want to complete the whole thing after the first one. I definitely want to complete the whole thing because it's also a project that I want to like. It's quite dear to my heart, so I'm probably going to work on it anyway. But if I am going to continue with the second part right after the first part, I don't know yet. Depends on how it goes and what at that point is the best option for me. So, yeah.
This is the first time I've seen stuff on this, and it looks awesome.
Thank you.
What made you come to the decision to have it be like these little globes? Like, at what point did you come up with that design decision?
That was pretty early on, and I feel like so I wanted to make rather simple gameplay. So I decided for the hidden object kind of direction, but I felt like the game needed a bit of a hook, and like this is like part of my hook, that it's like a very, very visual thing that if you see it, you kind of want to interact with it. And like I asked programmers back then, and they actually said to me that I probably shouldn't do it like this because it's not a beginner programming task. But I researched a little bit and found a good solution, and so I went with it anyway because I felt like without it, there wouldn't be enough hook for people to want to play it and explore it.
Cool. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Cool. Thank you very much.